A frame around an online image shouldn't be of such proportions that it overpowers that image. But if a 1 pixel line is enough to detract from your image, as some suggest, I would say it's not the line that's the problem, it's the image. Sometimes we do need to see the boundaries of an image on screen. Within the Objects and Animation screen in PTE AV Studio, we cannot apply a thin line around images if they're going to be animated, because the line's going to move with the image and then it will be a certain distraction. What we can do is to create the line on a transparent image. Save that as a PNG file, which will retain the transparent nature of that image. Then we can overlay that frame onto our images, so that the frame is independent of any animation. It's a lot easier than it sounds. Let's create one of those frames in Photoshop, but I have created a few that you can download if you wish. There's a link below. So if we're going to make a frame, we need to decide what size we're going to make it. For this particular demonstration, I'm going to assume we're working with HD presentations, 1920x1080. So I'm going to go to my File New to create a new page or a new canvas. Most of the time you'll probably find something here that's going to be suitable. There you can see one, 1920x1080, because I've used this size before. But if not, come over to the right and just type it in these values, 1920 width, 1080 height. I'm going to make the background contents black. We don't need a black background, but it's going to be useful for us to see the fine lines we're creating. So let's create it. And the first thing we need to do is to create another layer over the top of the background. That's pretty easy down at the bottom right of the layers palette. When we select it, it's created and automatically selected. We need to select the outside edge of our new layer, and Ctrl-A, Select All, is handy for that. From the Edit menu, we need Stroke to add that thin line. Let's select 1 pixel, and from the color panel here, we can select white or even a mid-grey. I'll choose white for this demo so it's easier to see, but we can get very good results with mid-grey. It does the job and the frame isn't overpowering at all. Place the stroke line on the inside of the selection and we're done. Hit Ctrl-D to remove the selection and turn off the black layer. Now we need to save this layer that contains a 1 pixel line into our PTE project folder as a PNG file. The PNG file will retain the transparent nature of the image. As we open up an animated project in PTE AV Studio, we need to select the first image and open the Objects and Animation screen. We need to click into the grey area to deselect the image. If not, the frame will be applied as a child of the animated parent. We don't want that. Go to Select Image and double-click the frame. Now we've only got this one image with the frame applied to it. The best way I've found to apply the frame to the rest of the images in a sequence is to highlight the frame, hit Ctrl-C to copy that frame to your clipboard. Then go to the top right of the screen and using these arrows we can skip to the next image in the sequence. Click in the grey area to deselect the image and then use Ctrl-V to paste the frame over the top. And we just need to skip to the next image and repeat that for all of the images in our sequence. It's actually very quick to do. Coming back into Photoshop, one of the pluses of this technique is that if we find our frame once we've applied it in PTE is too thin, too white, or we even want to apply a colour, we can hit Ctrl A in Photoshop and make a new frame. But if we then copy that new frame into our project folder with the same name as the previous frame, then when we open up PTE, the new frame is automatically applied, just as before. So any animation we apply to our images is now independent to an easily adjusted and replaceable frame. Thanks for watching.